All right, I'm gonna make this little video here to help you understand how everything works on the boat. That way you're not trying to figure it all out. It took me a little while to figure everything out, so I'll make this little video. On start at the front, you've got a couple of dry storage places on each side here. Got different floats and bumpers and stuff in there. You have another storage here. This is where the navigation light is, and a seat pole that goes into this hole here. It goes into there. That's where all that's stored. The front light, when you need it, the navigation light, it plugs into this hole here. Then over here you have your depth finder, which is connected to the bottom of the trolling motor, so you won't really use it much. And then up here you also have lights. You can turn the navigation lights on and off, and you have the trim for the motor up here as well if you want to trim it up and down. When you come back here, we have another fish finder, depth finder here, and then you have your controls up here. Now on here, got your fuel gauge, your speedometer, which doesn't work right now. I'm still working on that. You got a depth finder, which I don't know how that really works, and of course your tachometer. Here you have a water temperature gauge. If you flip everything on, like it says 74, 76 degrees here, that's the water temperature. That's for fishing and stuff. And then you have your controls. All right, nothing works really until you flip the master switch on. That turns everything on. Then you have your bilge pump if you need it to pump out the back water. And then the next to it, you have your light switch. Navigation is up. That turns your your green and red light on in the front. Or down, which is anchor. And that turns the big light on the back on. In the middle is off, obviously. This right here is like a light switch. I'm not really sure what the up does, but turn it down and hold it and it turns the light on. I don't know if that switch is broke. It doesn't stay on. And you have your live well. You push it up for manual and that will fill the live well up, or you push it on auto and it'll keep it full all the time. Now when you're doing the live well, you have a lever over here. This opens and closes. That'll be closed, and that'll hold the water in. When you're done and want to drain it, you push it over to open, and that will drain all the water out of the live well. Over here, the controls are just like the other boat. You got your up and down trim, your fast choke or start, and of course the key. You push it in to choke it. All that's just the same as the other boat. Now down here you have another storage in the floor. This is where the paddle, we got an anchor, and over here is the light for the back, the white tall light. It goes on a clip underneath there. It took me a while to figure out where that was at because it's under that lip. It's hard to see it, but that's the back anchor light, they call it. And then back here you have the live well. It goes all the way across to both sides. And this is the one that fills up with the pump. Of course, you have the ski pole. I have it disconnected right now. It goes back here in these pins on both sides. Probably leave that hooked up all the time for the most part. Might have to move it to get into the back. That's why I have it moved right now. All right, back here you have the gas tank and the start battery. The trolling motor batteries, you can use one or two. Trolling motor is either 12 volt or 24 volt. They go over here, which, like I say, and there's a battery charger, but it doesn't work. So that's something we'll just have to figure out. Of course, this is your fuel cell, your gas tank. It fills up over here on the side. Gas only, no oil, no anything, just gas. Goes in there, and it really sucks the gas. Then you have over here, this is the oil reservoir. Instead of putting it into gas, we put it into here. Now the one on the left is the one you want to loosen and fill up. But if you'll notice on there, it says tighten cap. after prevent oil flow to outboard motor, because if it's not tight, if it leaks, it won't pump up to the motor. It uses pressure off the motor to pressurize it, and it pumps up to the motor. So it's important that we keep that full, and it's important that you make sure the caps are tight, because it's going to pump up to this reservoir on the side of the motor, on the front here. Now you don't put oil in that one. You only put it in this one down here. It will pump up to that one. That cap has a float in it. If it gets low, it will sound an alarm. But let's just make sure we keep that thing full. Make sure that cap's tight too, because it will loosen, oil will come out because it'll overflow. Down here you have your bilge pump and your pump for your live well, and that's where the plug will go, in that hole right there. Like I said, we won't have to pull that plug much. I mean, we might do it like at the end of the day, at the end of the week, pull it out, put it in the seat, just make sure all the water's out. But the bilge pump will basically keep the majority of the water out. Now the ski pole will come out. It's just stuck in a hole. You can actually put the fishing seat in there if you want to, if you're not using the ski pole. And then, like I say, the ski pole will attach back here. I undid that so I could get in there. You put these in the little groove there and put that pin in there on both sides, and good to go there. You have your ladder back here, obviously. Now on the motor, like I say, you have that reservoir there. It'll stay full as long as the other one's full. Underneath the cowl is a bag that's got a pull rope. If your battery's dead, I don't know how well it'll pull, but it's an emergency pull rope. And you just take this plastic cover off with these plastic wing nuts, and you can wrap it around that to start it in an emergency. It's not something I'd want to try, but figured I'd point it out. On the side of the boat motor here, you have the up and down trim on it as well. And that's about it.